Oh, hey. Okay, sorry. Had to pee, but getting back to the thing. Where were we? Oh, yeah.
Treating everybody how you want in any way how. I swear North Korea about to bomb us any day now. And now I'm ducking every time I hear a fucking plane now. Shit. You know I make a lot of sense, but you just can't admit it. When Eminem went against Trump, that was the illest. Because even though he's white, he let us know he's standing with us. I'm not racist, but I cry a lot. You don't know what it's like to be in a frying pot. You don't know what it's like to mind your business and get stopped by the cops. And I know if you about to die or not. You worry about your life, so you take mine. I love you, but I fucking hate you at the same time. I wish we could trade shoes so we could change lives, so we can understand each other more, but that'll take time. I'm not racist. It's like we living in the same building, but split into both sides. I'm not racist. But there's two sides to every story, and now you know mine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Can't erase the scars with a bandage. I'm hoping maybe we can come to an understanding. Agree to disagree, we can have an understanding. I'm not racist.
Wow. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So do you think that
they could expand their vocabulary? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But that one you...
Wait, what did it say? We were all humans until race disconnected us, religion separated us, politics divided us, and wealth classified us. Yeah, my nail broke off. Did you notice they have religion circled? Religion. I don't know if you can see it. Well, if you go back and watch the movie. Watch the movie. Watch the video. It's like a movie. It feels like a movie that I'm watching. It actually feels like the movie Inception, you know, where it's like a dream within a dream within a dream. 3. Like, yeah, I feel like there's 3 different meanings in not only the song, but in this video, 3 different meanings. Video that Jordan Lucas has 3 different meanings. Jordan Lucas, if you go and watch all of his stuff, like, oh my god, a lot of his stuff has double meanings. Like, he even did a song, or he's doing a song, I'm not sure. I think he already did it with Eminem. And I don't know if y'all been watching, but like Eminem and MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, I like both of them. But like they were going off and having beef and all this stuff, and I'm like, but that's not the real issue. I feel like they were just doing that to bring some points out. Because in both of the raps, yeah, they're just saying just typical stuff about each other or whatever, but what's the point? You know? Joyner Lucas and Eminem are getting together. Like, they got together, making a song together. Now, why is Eminem going out of his way doing that? I don't know. But I feel like, I forgot the name of the song, but you should watch it. You know, watch that too. Watch a lot of Jordan Lucas stuff, because you'll be watching the video and you'll be thinking, oh, this is about this. And then you'll watch it, and then at the end, it's totally different. Like something completely different. You're like, I didn't expect that. You know? just like in this video, I think he's about to talk about it, like, at the end of it all, after them saying all that, you don't expect them to hug each other. But at the same time, you kind of do, because you remember when we were in school, I don't know if it was for you guys too, but when I was in school, if ever I got in trouble or had a disagreement with somebody or whatever, they're just like, the teacher's always like, okay, now hug it out, guys. And it's like, we just arguing. But the hug does one of two things. The first thing a hug does is you have to breathe out as you're hugging. Like, you breathe in because you're mad, you're like, but then when you hug, and your muscles relax, you're more in a relaxed state. So that's why I say always give somebody a hug and then a handshake. A handshake means you're about business. Like, okay, why do you think, like, everywhere you go, like, you see people like, hey, man, what's going on? Like, what's up? Why? Because they're about business. When you go to any place, like if you go inside of a job, just go to any job or whatever, corporate job. Hello, sir. Yes, nice to meet you, And then it's like, when you go on the street, though, it's different. Hey, bro, what's up? Completely different. Same with in the culture. Los hispanos, cuando dale a un país espacial o un país que es diferente de este país, que es la cultura. Es que cuando tú estás hablando con alguien que no sabe, ¿qué haces? Hola, ¿cómo está usted? ¿Verdad? Es lo mismo que este. Es lo mismo. Entonces, all right, I'm getting completely off subject. It's hot.
You disagree?
Well, no, I agree with that. Religion does separate, because that's what religion does. I mean, I said that on Sunday, how damaging religion is. But when you have a true relationship with God through Jesus, then that's not religion.
Do you think that part of the divide between the two cultures is primarily could just be anger? You don't understand me, I don't understand you, and therefore you're wrong and I'm right? Or
well, yeah, I mean, obviously anger is a divisive. It causes people to take action, but it's very divisive, and you never really get any place when you're angry. The question is, do people want to come together? Do they see a reason to take the divide and build a bridge?
Yeah.
Or do they just want to stay divided? Most cultures and the media they thrive on the divide.
Yeah. So what kind of thing, because this is such a video that's super popular right now, super controversial, everybody's talking about it. I mean, I think this has been generational that's been dealing with this. But to my generation dealing with this, and to who's predominantly watching this and seeing this, what would you say to them? What would help this?
So your generation?
Yeah.
Well, again, I say the purpose, and obviously, the language is offensive to me, but obviously that might be the culture of rap and so forth. I get that. But to my generation and who I am, the language is offensive to me.
Yeah.
There's obviously better ways to communicate than that level.
Yeah.
To me, that's just a low level. But if that's the culture of where it's at, it's at.
Yeah.
And that's the culture. Like I said, it goes back to your culture. Whatever you're used to. Like, what he's saying, what Joyner Lucas is saying directly in this video, like if you listen to the words in which he's saying and the language that he's using, you will not catch a black person, Hispanic, white, or, well, I wouldn't say white because I'm not sure. I never grew up around white, so I'm not sure exactly. I grew up around a little bit, but not a lot. But anyway, I grew up around a lot of Hispanics and blacks and Asians. So, and being around them, the culture and everything is completely different. What they say, like there's different slang words that they say, even in Spanish. There's a lot of slang words a lot of people use. Why? To get your attention. Like what you say, like him, Joyner Lucas in this song, what he's saying and the words that he's using, yeah, is very strong. But the points that he's making are very strong. So sometimes when you have to make, a strong point, you got to use stronger language to get more results, because you can only talk like this in order for certain people to understand where you're coming from. Like, that's why I feel like I love the reaction. Very good. It's like I love it, but I hate it, but I also love it, because now I'm seeing how he thinks. Not saying just because he's white, but I'm just saying I see how he thinks and how he perceives certain things. But going back to culture, if you do it as far as culture is concerned, in the black culture, man, isn't it when somebody says something to you, but they yell at you and they curse you out, don't you be like, oh, my bad, You hear it more, Same with rap. They came out with rap. Why? Because when you say something and it ends with a rhyme, you say rhyme, time, fine. Oh, how you doing? I'm just rhyming, with the time, and I'm feeling just fine, And you're like, what? It sounds like it's not rhyming, but it really is. But you think about what's the point of it, though? You can be rhyming, you can be saying stuff, but what are you really saying? Like, so I think that's the point of this video that I feel like the dad sees, but at the same time, I feel like the more he listens to it, the more he's able to open up about how he feels, and he's able to not be biased about it, but at the same time, say how he feels, but still keep it a little generalized, so that people understand. But most people are like, well, what are you talking about? Again, you got to listen to the in-between of the in-between in order to know what he's saying, because he's not just coming out saying it. Certain things he is coming out saying, other things he's
not. My question is, if this kind of forum gets you talking, or both sides talking, do you think that there's enough substance in both sides to help people come to a resolution, or will it just dynamite the divide again and everybody goes their separate ways? What do you think is the end result? I guess that's my question to your generation.
Yeah.
What's the end result of this? Is it just two guys blown off, or is it any substance in either side that say, well, let's talk about this?
So what plan of action would you have? Talking about it?
Well, yeah, I would sit down and say, what are the main points that are still in divide here, and what's the root of it? And you take responsibility. That's where, I mean, it seems like that both sides are pointing out the problem, and the closest thing of taking responsibility that they did in this was to hug each other at the end.
So we need to hug more.
There you go. It's a start, but
yeah.
Okay. I really want to stop it right there, but I might finish it. I don't know yet. But do you guys think we should hug more? Like I was saying, yeah, hugging is a very great way to release stress. Very true. But you know what's also a good way to relieve stress? Dancing, right? Like certain certain things, yeah, you do need to hug it out. But let me give you an example. Okay, you got 2 boys, right? One of them, you know, he's very, 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 very hyper. Like, the boy cannot sit still. He's just so hyper. But you also have another boy. He's so calm, everything he does, it's like he's so calm with everything. Now, going back to the first boy, he's all over the place. Can't sit still. You're like, oh, but and the black host will be like, if you don't get your, and they feel like that's gonna help him. He needs to pay attention. But then you have in some cultures, they'll be like, hey, ¿qué estás haciendo usted? No, no lo toco esto. ¿Me entiende? ¿Qué haces? Like, like, venga para atrás, venga. And, the child responds like, oh my God, But of course, they're probably going to be like, well, why is she mad? I was just, in the corner, just going like this. But she just told you to wash the dishes. And you're over there in the corner like this. Why not get out of the corner, go wash the dishes, and do this while you're doing the dishes, and then the other kid. The other kid's very quiet, to themselves. They get stuff done, they're so focused. You tell them to do the dishes, they go wash them, and then go to their room. And they're good. You don't really have to say much to that kid. But what's the point? Both of the kids, I will say one of the kids has ADHD. The other kid has it too. But they're not reacting the same way. Why? First kid, they have ADHD, they can't sit still. They're over there dancing in the corner. You tell them to do something, you yell at them because they're like, why are they doing it? Well, they heard you say to do it, but now that a song didn't come on, or they got a song in their head and just like, ooh, I got to dance. And then you have to be like, hey, snap them out of it and be like, okay, no, go do what you have to do. Okay. But they have to do something. They got to get rid of their energy. So what you have to do is, center that energy, be like, look, I see what you're doing. It's okay. I love to dance too, but how about this? How about we go wash the dishes while we dance, Get both done at the same time while you're having fun. That's exercise, and it's fun, and you're getting chores done. Now, the second kid, they do what they're told to do, Like, okay, I'm going to go do this, Meanwhile, in their head, you don't see them dancing, but in their head, all you hear is... Or they got earphones in. They're not really dancing, but they're just like, they're in their zone and they get it done. Now, what's the point? Both kids are different. Both of them have ADHD though, but both of them has their own ways of doing stuff. One of them, you have to kind of guide them on how to do it. And the other one, you just tell them to do it and they'll do it. They still do it their own way, but they do it. Make sure it gets done. And they might do it the same way you exactly told them to do it, but it gets done. With either child, it gets done. What's the point? He was talking about, doing hugs and stuff like that to kind of make a change. Sometimes it's not really being physical with somebody to make a change. Because I can hug you. I can be like, oh, está bien, cariño. Ay, no te preocupes. It's okay, my darling. Don't worry about it. You're loved. I love you. You can be like that. But with certain kids, they're not going to respond all the time with that. There's even diseases where kids, they don't respond to emotions like that. They don't respond to how you touch them. So they're talking about making a change with hugging, starting with hugging. Not in every case. Not in every case. Because like I said, you have some kids, you can tell them to do this, and they'll do it. Other kids, you got to scream at them to do it, but they'll do it. But what's the point? What is the point? The point is, if you want change to happen, you have to think about your audience, who you're talking to. You know, you can't say the same things to one person that you can say to somebody else, because why? The results aren't going to be the same. It's just like they have schools now, you know, to teach kids, when back in the day, the parents were the ones teaching the kids. But now what? They're saying, oh, you know, moms, you got to go to work, dads, you know, or dads, you got to go to work. Now everybody has to go to work. It's like, so nobody's really home with the kids, so they're not being taught, like, okay, I need to do this. You know, they're thinking, okay, well, mom and dad's not here to teach me, so somebody has to teach me. And what do they go to? Music. Like I said, with both children, one of them, you know, you can tell them to do certain things and they'll do it, but you have to scold them. Somebody else, same thing, but you don't have to scold them, but you just have to tell them to do this. But what's the key? What helps them? Both listen to music. You know, they're trying to take music out of the schools, but clearly, I feel like Joyner Lucas and what a lot of rappers are doing, a lot of singers are doing, a lot of people in the arts period, a lot of actors, actresses, you know, they're telling people, be more expressive, you know, express how you feel. And I feel like that's what Joyner Lucas is doing in his music. You know, the approach in which he's going about it with, it's not going to reach everybody the same kind of way. Nobody's going to react the same kind of way as what Joyner Lucas, how he would react to his own self, you know, doing this, you know, this song. He probably, when he was writing it, was just like, hey, whatever, I'm just going to write down the first things that come to my mind. Because that's usually how rap works. I used to rap. I used to write poetry. You sit there. Sometimes some people need a pen and paper to write. Some people, it just comes to them. And they just go. You know? It don't take them that long. Like, I used to write poetry and stuff like that. Literally, I would do it in a day. Sometimes hours, or in an hour, in 30 minutes. Get out a whole, like, this video or whatever he's doing is probably like only like 4 minutes long, 3 or 4 minutes long. Probably even 2. But it's like, there's a lot to be said, like, so I feel like he says it, but the point is, are you listening? And it's not only are you listening, but are you going to adhere or do something about what you're listening to, you know? And I think that's what the dad, you know, that's what he's that's his perception, what he's getting from it. He's like, okay, he starts off like, oh, you know, they're just saying this and this and this, and he's saying that's how they perceive it. That is how they perceive it. That is how Joyner Lucas perceived it from each side, you know? So it's like, because when I first saw this video, I was like, who is Joyner Lucas? Like, is he one of the guys? Like, who is he? You know? But then it's like, you watch this and you're like, man, I need to start listening more. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. See what you guys think. I know it's kind of long, drawn out, my reaction to it, but I would try to put up both videos at the same time. That way you guys can react or, you know, look at both my videos back to back instead of waiting for one this week and then waiting for the other. You know, just get it all out in the air right now. And then get back to it later. Okay? Hopefully this posts. But if not, I'll be okay. With that being said, I'm gonna go stretch. Yeah.